It happened. We went virtual. Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Mr. Kyle Cohen. I'm a 4th grade teacher in Cleveland, Ohio, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have been following this channel for the past 6 months, you have been along for a ride that I have been living on a daily basis. I started this school year off in a pandemic, in a new district, and a lot has been happening that I've been sharing out on this YouTube channel. Our district started things off hybrid, we then shifted into 5 days a week with all students, we then shifted back to hybrid. We've been going back and forth between these two models all school year, and we've been doing it rather successfully. Now, of course, we have had cases in our district, in our building, in our county. The numbers at this point are so out of control that due to post-Thanksgiving spread and just all-around anxiety surrounding the spread of the virus after Thanksgiving, my district made the really responsible decision of sending all students virtual for this week. We found out this news on a Monday. We met with our team on Tuesday to put all of the details together, and then we engaged with remote learning yesterday, Wednesday, which was the first day, today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday. We still don't know what next week is going to look like and the week after. We have 2 more weeks after this week until our winter break, but we just know that given the nature of the virus and our district's plan that we're remaining flexible, we're taking things day by day, and ultimately doing everything we can to provide our students with an amazing education, even during such a challenging time. I wanted to share what things I've been doing from my end to help make sure that this transition has been as smooth as possible for students. We have a lot of systems already in place that helped ease this transition, so hopefully you find it helpful hearing from my experience, because it's inevitable, whether it's this school year, next school year, that shifts are probably going to be taking place at some point in time. The first thing that has been really helpful so far is the fact that I have a desk set up ready to go at home. Given the nature of these shifts, I feel so incredibly grateful that I have things set up and ready to go. And this is largely due to the fact that back in March we had to make these shifts. So back in March I was scrambling, but now, 8 months later, we are good to go. So I have a second monitor hooked up to my personal computer. I also have a district computer, which sometimes I use as a third monitor, because we all know that when we are using Google Meet, we do not have the luxury of seeing students in the screen. Zoom does have that luxury, but Google Meet makes it a little bit more complicated, and my district uses Google Meet, so the second monitor here, that's a must. I have my second monitor attached to my personal computer. I have it attached with a USB-C, and I have that plugged in. I always have my computer charging when I am using Google Meet or Zoom. It helps with the lag and anything like that. I ordered on Black Friday one of those laptop stands to elevate my computer just so everything's on the same eye height, but that hasn't come quite yet, so stay tuned for the laptop stand. I have also on my desk a pair of blue light glasses. Staring at the computer for a billion hours a day really can give you a headache. A really awesome company called 2 Pairs actually sent me these glasses. I talked about them over on my Instagram, which you should follow if you are not doing so, but I talked about 2 Pairs over on my Instagram. I will link them down in the description box. They are working with educators right now to provide students and teachers with blue light glasses during this time, so go ahead, check them out. Also on my desk, I have this wireless keyboard. This is a absurdly over-the-top wireless keyboard that I have. I love this keyboard. This is the Keychron K2, I think is what it's called. I'll link this keyboard down below. This is way nicer than anything that anyone actually needs, but given the fact that I make all these YouTube videos and I'm constantly working at my desk, I wanted to step things up for myself. So this was a personal purchase, obviously. Actually, all of this were personal purchases. But my mouse is actually just like a $10, $15 mouse that I got on Amazon. This is Bluetooth. They sync really nicely to my computer, so I'll link the mouse, I'll link the keyboard, and this is just one of those wrist rests. My keyboard is a little bit elevated, so I find that this makes it really comfortable. The only other things on my desk, you'll see it's not a huge desk setup. I'm not sure if it's being distorted on camera or not, but I just have my cell phone. I always keep it face down so I'm not being distracted by notifications when I'm working with students. I have my coffee, which is now gone, sad, and my Hydro Flask. Again, not sponsored, but I wish I was. This is my setup if you are interested with what I have working here. I have my students up on Google Meet on my computer, my laptop. I then have my slides presenting up on the second monitor. When I share my screen on Google Meet, I don't have the ability to have my students and my slides all up on one place. So the second monitor actually is a must. So sometimes I use the second monitor, sometimes I use my work computer as my second monitor, but this just allows me a way to see my students and my slides. On my personal computer, then, I'm able to see all of my students. If you are not familiar with Google Meet or not using Google Meet, you can go ahead and skip this section of the video, but I just recently learned that we have all these new features on Google Meet, which is different from the spring. Back in the spring, a lot of these features weren't here, which created a lot of challenges, but now we can change the layout, and I can actually adjust the tiles so I can see all of my students on one screen and my slides. It's actually been really seamless, and we have had a really smooth transition into using Google Meet over the past few days. When my students came in this morning, I just have on the slide that I'm so excited that they're here to put themselves on mute and that we're gonna begin at 9:35. That's when we got going today. I want students to be on mute just because you all know from video conferencing, things can get really loud and hard to hear if everyone's talking. So when they're muted and my voice is coming through, it makes it really clear so students can hear everything. Something else that really helped make the transition into remote learning really seamless has been my implementation of Google Classroom. On Google Classroom, I have a couple things that have been really helpful for students. So first, you'll find that I linked our Google Meet at the top of this week. I made a tab, a brand new topic called This Week, where students were able to access our Google Meet link. Right under the Google Meet link is their independent checklist. This has all of the assignments that students need to work on independently when we are not on Google Meet. This was a really straightforward Google slide. On this Google slide, you'll see we have the day of the week. We have exactly what students need to complete for math, for ELA, for science, and so on. We also wrote here that if you did not attend our Google Meet, we linked all of our meetings on Google Classroom so students could have a place to refer back to our meetings. And these are things that really helped make such smooth transitions into remote learning. I know for so many of you, you have been doing these things every single day since September, and I commend you because this is so challenging, and being in person is so challenging and anxiety provoking and scary, and at the end of the day, there's no perfect solution for the 2020 school year. There's no right way to best support students at this time. All that I know is that we have to be flexible. We have to be thinking really critically about the needs of our students. We need to be thinking about everything that we can be doing to support them, whether we are in person, hybrid, remote. At the end of the day, it is our role to provide our students with an incredible education. I know that this time is really scary and really overwhelming, but at the end of the day, your students are so lucky to have you, so I hope you are showing up for them and doing everything you can to support them each and every day. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I will keep you updated as things continue to unfold this school year, so make sure you hit that red subscription button so you do not miss out on any future videos. Leave a comment down below talking about any remote learning tips that you have. I am new, again, to the world of remote learning. I did this back in the spring, but things have changed a lot since then, and some of you have been doing this for months, so any tips are really appreciated. As always, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you watching, and I will catch you in the next one.